JRB Artists. This is Mrs. DeSalle, and I am here today to talk to you about tints, tones, and shades. Hopefully you've already watched the video that told you what a tint, a tone, and a shade is, and I am going to show you how to mix some colors today. We are going to use paint. If you don't have paint at home, that's okay. You can mix crayons together and see what happens there. If you do have paint, then you can use something like a piece of cardboard as a palette, and you can practice mixing your colors together on the palette before you use them. To make a tint, we're going to use a little bit of blue, which is the hue. The pure hue is the actual color, and a little bit of white. Now there's all different levels of tints and shades and tones. It depends how much black or how much white you put into a painting or into a color. I'm going to rinse my paintbrush off, and I am going to now make a shade by adding a little bit of blue and a little bit of black. Now you don't need quite as much black as you do white, because look what happens. It gets really dark really fast. So I'm going to take a little bit more of the hue and mix it in there, and now we have a shade of blue. Now, in order to make a tone, you want to mix gray into your pure hue. So to make gray, we're going to first need a little bit of black and a little bit of white. And now we have some gray. And then we're going to need some more of that color. We're going to mix that in there. And you might notice that when you mix gray with the color, it makes the color really, really dull. It's not that bright, bright blue that it was to start with. It's just kind of a dull gray. After you've practiced mixing your colors, I would like you to experiment with them on your paper. So you can take your paper out, keep your palette next to you, and just paint whatever you feel like painting, and see what those colors look like when you put them next to each other. After you've done some experimenting with your colors, the next thing I'd like you to do is to try to paint a picture using those colors. It can be a picture of anything you want. It can be abstract. It can be a landscape. It could be a portrait of someone. Anything that you want. So you can see that I made an abstract design using tints, tones, and shades. You can do this, or you can do something that looks like something. It's up to you. You could use organic shapes. You could use lines. Whatever you would like to design using tints, tones, and shades is wonderful. And remember, if you don't have paint at home, you could use crayons to make tints, tones, and shades. Or you could just use a bunch of different crayons that have blue in them, or a bunch of different crayons that have red in them, and it will give the same effect. I look forward to seeing what you create.